Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would pop on here and give you a little bit of an update with what's going on. I realize it's been a couple months since I've posted a video, and I apologize for that. Things have been really chaotic here lately. A lot of things moving around here and there, and it's just been kind of a mess, and sometimes it's hard to find the time to get out there and do the projects that I really enjoy doing. So I'm going to try and get back to it and get a little more stable pattern of uploading videos. So stick around and we will get into all of the things that have been going on, and I will share some of the things that I plan to do. So all right, so I guess the first thing I ought to start with is, if you're new to this channel, I would appreciate it if you would click the subscribe button and ring the bell if you would like to receive notifications anytime I upload new content. I realize it's been kind of sparse here lately, but I promise I'm going to do my best to improve on that and make it better. If you have any interest in any of the projects or this type of content with 3D printers and things along that nature, definitely please hit the subscribe button and help me grow this channel. My goal is to get at least 1,000 subscribers. I'm well on my way, but I just need some more support. So I'd appreciate it if you click the subscribe. All right. Now that I got that out of the way, we will talk about a few things. I guess I want to start out by saying, if you've watched some of my other videos up until this point on my project and stuff, you're going to notice that there's a few things missing on my intro. My goal is to always improve the video quality and the production quality of this channel. I know I've got a lot to learn and a long way to go, but I feel good about it and feel like I am making small steps forward in progress. But you'll notice that I took off my QR codes and my affiliate links to Amazon and GearBest and all of that stuff. I just decided that that's not for me. I have no interest in that. That's not why I'm doing it. So I'm not saying anything negative about it. It's a good program. They're all good programs if that's what you're looking for. And some people have the ability to fund a lot of stuff for their channel. Every little bit helps, and I understand that. So I wish them all the best of luck. But as for me, it's more hassle than I want to mess with. So I don't want that taking away from the energy I need to use to make this channel quality better. So I was chasing, filament deals and stuff like several people, and I kind of patterned myself after some of the people that I've seen their channels that I like, and tried to follow suit. Thinking, well, I just need to go that way because I like the way they're doing it, but I don't want to waste the energy on it. So you won't see affiliate links and those kind of things on my channel anymore. I'm just going to let that go and forget it. Now, I will say that I am going to leave the Patreon. I don't have that program developed yet, but I will at some point find some way to offer benefits and extras for the people that want to help support the channel or see something special. So I'm going to leave the Patreon up there if you would like to support that. Great. If not, that's still great. That's not what I'm here for. So just know that any donations that anybody does make to the channel will go right back into the channel. It'll go to Filament, or it'll go for parts or some new project to move forward and help create more content. But if you don't, I'm still going to continue to make progress and do projects and whatever. So it sounds good. Also going to leave the buy me a coffee link up there, because that's just 2 ways to easily donate and help the channel out. But other than that, you won't see any more stuff on my channel. No more links, no more anything like that. I'm just going to leave that out. Sucks too much energy. So, all right. Now, that being said, you can still get a hold of me if you want to follow me or whatever on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Those links are still on the intro you saw, and they'll be in the description. So if anybody does want to follow, and if you've clicked the bell on the subscribe and the notification bell, you'll get updates anytime I do put something new up. So, and I have got some things hopefully coming up soon. So there's that. Let me switch over to the project that I have been working on and give you an update on that status. So right now, if you've watched any of my last few videos, you'll recognize this printer. Let's see if I can get a little better view of it. And you'll notice it's kind of tore back down some. I tore off the top brackets and the Z-rods, lead screws, and there is the carriage and the hot end and everything. I took that all apart, and the reason I did is because I roughed it together, and then got the electronics all hooked up and wired up and got that tested, and I was able to get some of the axes moving, but I could see very clearly that the things that I had made by hand, and mainly it was the bushings on the rods, trying to make something like that by hand without a machine shop or anything, it proved to be very, very difficult. I had way too much resistance, and it just did not want to pull through there. I also made a couple mistakes. I learned a few things that I didn't like, learned some things that I did like. Examples, I do like that the lead screws that I bought are 8mm single start. I do like that for the Z rods. It gives it a lot more torque. You don't need a lot of speed for the Z axis, because it's just going to print a layer and then step up, and then print a layer and step up. So speed is not an issue for that. Holding torque to carry the carriage up and hold it in place is more important there. So I do like that the lead screws I got are single starts for that. I did not like the fact that I couldn't get enough speed out of them on the X and Y axis, so those had to come out, and I took those out and ordered some pulleys and idlers and belt, and I've got that here. So I'm going to redesign that. Redesign that so that I can get better performance there. So there's lessons learned. And I didn't expect it to be perfect. I'm not a genius. I'm not an engineer. I'm just a hobbyist, and I'm trying to build this thing just for my satisfaction, nobody else's. But if you'd like to follow along, that's why I'm documenting this with a video, so there might be other people with the same kind of thoughts, and they can learn from my mistakes. So I've got that. I also have decided to change my design some, because on the other printer, let me go back down there again. On the other printer, I had what I thought were awesome rails, and I do think they're awesome rails. I don't want to spend $30 a bushing for linear bearings to go on 1/2-inch rods. I don't want to spend that kind of money. That's expensive. And trying to make bushings that would work on that and glide smooth and evenly across there proved to be harder than I expected. So I'm going to keep those rails, and I may implement them somewhere else or on another project or come up with a different design. I don't know what I'll do yet, but I'm not out but just a few bucks for those. I really like them. They're very good, straight 600 millimeter long rails. So I'll just keep an open mind on where I can use them later. In this picture here that you're seeing, obviously this style of printer that I was trying to mimic was like the ANET A8 or the Prusa i3, that style of a printer. Those are good printers. But I've decided that I want to go a different route. And let me see if I can get back here. I've decided that I've got some other extrusion that I got. I took apart a couple big roller blinds, and they have aluminum extrusion in them, and it's round, and I have some pretty long lengths of it, and it seems to be very rigid, and it was free. Again, that's me, the free. And it just so happens that the bearings from fidget spinners fit in the groove. Let's see, it's all crooked here. Let's try it again. There you go. They fit in there perfect. And wait, you got a bunch of dirt in that one. Anyway, they're gonna glide a lot better. So my thinking is I am going to redesign what I've got to more of a CR10 Ender 3 style of mechanism. So I'm going to redesign that way. I've still got the electronics, the ramp boards, the motors, all that stuff. So I'm not losing anything other than some time, and I learned from it. So that's okay. The problem with it being round is that's even harder to make brackets and stuff for this kind of thing by hand that are precision. And a couple videos back, I'm sure you noticed that I don't have much in the way of patience, but I've had something good come along, and that is I was able to a month and a half ago, maybe a month ago, I was able to put together the funds to buy me a 3D printer so that I can make the brackets for this big format printer. And let me see if I can switch cameras and show you what I ended up with. I've been working with it for a little while now, upgrading it and getting familiar with it. Let's see, we'll switch to the other camera, and let's see if we can spin this around. me just try it this way. Okay. So we have my Ender 3. And I've been printing upgrades to it. And let's see, what have I upgraded? I printed a fan cover like everybody recommends. And some cable clips. And the circuit board cover. And these are all common prints that everybody seems to be printing. And then I've not seen a lot of people printing these, but I just finished this one. And that is, if I can get it lined up here. It's kind of washed out with the light, but what it is the Bullseye Pet's Fang cooling duct and mount, which puts the heatsink fan back there and the blower in the front, and I really like it. I was really impressed with it. So that worked out well. I see I got a little bit of a piece of filament down there. And let's see, I also printed, boy, the lighting. I printed a guide roller for the filament, and it also uses one of the fidget spinner bearings. I think it's a 608, pretty common bearing. And then last night I just finished this little tool holder that just lays on top of the power supply. Doesn't block the fan or anything, but all the tools that came with my Ender 3 fit right in there perfect. So, not doing too bad. And I've only got one roll of filament, so it seems to be working very well. And I'm down, the spool's down to right there now. So I'm not halfway through it yet, but I got quite a few prints. Been happy so far with the Sunlu filament. Sorry about if I'm making you dizzy. Let me put this back here. All right. So dogs are going crazy. Somebody walking down the sidewalk probably. Okay. So I got the Ender 3. And that is awesome. I absolutely love it. It works perfect. It's worked perfect right out of the box. I was able to put it together, and I think it took me an hour and 15 minutes, which by the way, I did record, or thought I recorded for you guys, because I wanted to post that video. That was a few weeks ago. And I went over and hit record and started taking it out of the box and tripped over the mic cord, pulled the mic out. So I went over and stopped the video, plugged the microphone back in, got it all back running, and I clicked on the record button, but apparently I didn't click it hard enough, or I didn't click at the right angle, or didn't hold my tongue right, or something, but it did not record. I went through the entire hour and 15-minute video putting that thing together, talking to you guys and trying to get it built, and nothing. So sorry about that. I was hoping to have that to post for you. But anyway, this way you get a bit of a surprise. So I've got my Ender 3 now, doing the upgrades and the building of the large format printer. It's going to be a lot easier. It's still going to have problems. I'm still going to make mistakes, but definitely should be a lot easier than trying to take sheet metal and bend it around and get it precise. This thing does a beautiful job. I did have some problems with it because my Cura kept popping up and saying there's a new version, and I downloaded the new 3.5, I think it is, and it just freaked my whole printer out. Everything I printed was just like wafer cookies and crunchy and not solid under extrusion. It took me a little bit of time and some help from some of the other guys, and I sure appreciate it from you guys because you helped a ton to figure out exactly what was going on. And somebody knew that the new Cura had issues with it, and I was telling them that I could get it somewhat decent prints if I upped the filament flow to 200%. Then I was starting to get more solid stuff. Still wasn't as good as the first couple prints I got off of it, but it definitely got a lot better. And when I said that, somebody came back and said, well, Cura 3.5 is known to have a setting in there that is not set at 1.75 filament. And I went in there, and sure enough, the filament diameter was set by default to 2.85, which is a weird number. I don't understand why that number was there, but so when I fixed that number, it helped it, but it still wasn't good. So after that, I just went back to the one that came on the flash drive with the machine that I know was printing perfect, and it's 3.02, I think. I have talked to some people, and everybody's saying that the 3.4 version works perfect. I just haven't sat down and upgraded to that yet and gave it a try, but hopefully I can do that this week. I want to get that taken care of. But right now, to do all these parts, I went back to that 3.0, and every one of them just printed beautiful. So that's a lot of progress. I'm very excited. I was like a kid in a candy store when I was able to start printing things. So now it's back to learning Blender, all the ins and outs of Blender. I feel like I got a decent handle on it, enough to where I can kind of wiggle my way through there and get the brackets and pieces and mounts and stuff made that I want. But that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to work on those kind of things, figure out my bracket design and design them, and hopefully you guys can follow along with it and see what I'm doing and offer your suggestions, and between all of us, maybe we can get this machine to run. It's still going to end up being 500 by 500 by 500 build volume. I'm just going to change it over. Instead of having linear bearings on rods, it's going to have roller bearings in grooves on extrusion. So we're going to give that a try. So that's what's going on there. Let's see. That's quite a bit. I have 2 projects in the back of my mind that I want to do that will not fit into any kind of time frame with that printer build. So I've almost got one ready to start on, and the other one will be a little farther down the road. But I've had 2 ideas in my head for many months of things. I sit around and try to think of things of how could we do it different, what has somebody not thought of, or you know, what do I have in experience that I can apply a different view or take on any kind of subject. And I've got a couple that I'm excited and can't wait to get started on. We're going to do some testing and some experimenting and come to our final conclusion together. So definitely check back for those as I get those up and running. They're going to be very exciting and hopefully eye-opening to everyone, to new possibilities of things that people, as far as I know, have not thought of yet. So I think that kind of gets us up to speed. Let's see. I did have to move all my equipment back inside the house. Right now I'm sitting in the living room. But I have put my stuff together on a rollaway cart, which you saw probably back in the video as I was moving the camera around. My YouTube video studio is on a roller cart, and my Ender 3 is sitting on a fold-out table leaf right on the side of it. So that way when company comes over or whatever, I can just unplug it, roll it to the bedroom. Got plenty of room. When I want to work on stuff, I can just roll it out of the bedroom out here into the living room where I got plenty of room and go on like it's all good. Working out in the garage was working very well, and I was getting it worked out. But in some of the changes that I've had to do, we have shut down our online business and taken everything to a consignment antique mall and booth there. We've got 3 booths set up there, so that's why I haven't had anything posted in a while. We have been moving our entire inventory to the store a few miles down the road, and it's working well. But I also have had to turn up the heat on a lot of the woodworking projects and furniture repair. And what I was finding was everything with my computer and my printer and all of my projects were just getting covered in sawdust. Even though I have a pretty nice dust collection system, it was still getting everywhere. And then you add the moisture and humidity coming into the garage because it is a unconditioned space. I was just afraid it was going to ruin a lot of money and a lot of equipment. So I bit the bullet, and I needed the space for the woodworking anyway. So I went ahead and set it all up on this roller cart, and I think it's going to work out well. I've been collecting these. I don't know what you call them. They're scissor arms, I guess. I don't know if you can see it, but like my microphone's on. There you go. I've been collecting those. Amazon sells them for like $10, and I'll bet I've got 10 out in the garage, and I've taken a couple and added extra springs to carry the weight, and I think I'm going to take one or two of them and take some apart and add them so that they've got more segments. So instead of just having 2 pieces, it might have 3 or 4 different sections so that I can move cameras and get more motion out of them. But I picked them up at the Goodwill for $1, $2, and they're older ones. They're not as pretty. The paint on my microphone one it's worn off and got some rust and stuff on it, but I don't care. I can paint it anytime I want. But I've got, like I said, I've got 10 of them, so for the price of one off of Amazon. So that's working out okay. I think that's pretty much everything. I think that gets you back up to speed. So I'll get this thing buttoned up, this video buttoned up, and get it posted so you guys can see it. And again, click the subscribe button and the bell, and hopefully it won't be too much longer, and we will get a video up of some more progress on the big printer project. Some Blender videos. You can watch how bad I am at Blender. But I just want to get back to it. I enjoy making the videos. I don't do it for any reason other than I enjoy it. So to me, it's relaxing when I don't have to stress out about a timetable and affiliate links and all that other junk. So we'll try and make it better and make it more frequent. So I know this was probably a long, boring video, and you didn't want to see it, but if you were interested or curious, now you know where I'm at and what's coming, some of what's coming, and we'll get things rolling. So hopefully I'll be back on here again soon. Everybody have a wonderful evening and check back often. Thanks a lot. Bye.